This conference will now be recorded.
Operators we have seen. Which topic? Operators we have seen. Now today's topic is, I want to explain about JavaScript control statements. Means how to create if statement, loopings, etc. we are trying to learn in this particular part. Which one? Loopings and if conditions we are trying to learn in this part, that is control statements. So keep the heading control statements. Control statements. So what is control statements and why we have to go for that? Let us try to understand. Now listen. Assume we have written a program and that program has a collection of statements. What the program contains? Collection of statements. Every statement ends with a semicolon. Any limit of number of statements? Any limit maximum these many statements only we should write? No limit. No limit. We can write any number of statements inside the program. For example, we have written so many statements. How these particular statements will execute? First, the execution flow will start with the first statement. After completion of execution of the first statement, it will go to which statement? Second statement. After completion of second statement, it will go to third statement. Then fourth statement and so on. After completion of one statement, it will just jump to next statement. Okay? It will start with the first statement, then second, then third, then fourth and so on. All these statements is going to be completing. Now listen. So, I want to control or I want to change the sequence of execution of the program. Sometimes I want to repeat the execution of the statements. Sometimes I want to skip the statements. Sometimes I want to repeat the execution of the statement. Sometimes I want to skip the statements. For example, see this second statement, third statement, fourth statement. These 2, 3, 4 statements I want to repeat many times. How do we repeat the execution of the statements? That is come under which category? Control statements. That is the first point. Next, suppose I want to skip the execution of the second, third, fourth statements. For skipping also what is required? Control statements only required. Sometimes I want to repeat the execution. Sometimes I want to skip the execution. How do we repeat or skip the statements execution? By using which one? Control statements we can do that. All of you able to understand? I want to repeat the execution. I want to skip the execution, but not unconditionally. Conditionally, I will check one condition. If the condition is true, I want to repeat the statements. Again we will check the condition. Again I want to repeat. Again I will check the condition. Again we keep on repeating. As long as the condition is true, I want to repeat. That is come under control statements. Not only that, if the condition is true, I want to skip the statements. If the condition is false, otherwise I want to skip the statements. So depending on the situation, either you want to skip the statements or you want to execute the statements based on the condition. Based on the condition. First of all, we will have a condition. Before making a decision, we have a condition. If the condition is true, we want to execute the statements. Otherwise, don't want to execute the statements. Listen. Suppose in the real life also we have some conditions. Listen, for example, you want to purchase some product. The product is available generally in the offline and online market. So you will check the prices. Whichever the price is good, wherever the price is good, where you can get the exact genuine product. So you will verify, are you getting genuine product or not? If yes, what is the price of that? We will check in the offline store, online store. Whichever is better, you will purchase that. Just like that. The condition you will check. If the condition is true, you want to execute the statements. Condition is false, you don't want to execute the statements. For this kind of situations, what we have to use there? Control statements we have to use. Okay. Write these points. By default, all the statements executes in sequential order. means top to bottom. By default, all the statements executes in sequential order. Means top to bottom. Okay, by default, how the statements will execute? In a top to down approach, it will execute. We have written some 10 statements. How they execute, tell me? In our program, 10 statements are written, 10 statements. Out of 10 statements, how the statements will execute? First, it will start with the fifth statement. Then it will go to second statement. Then it will go to, understand? No. Then which is correct? First statement. First statement will execute. Then second statement. Then third statement. First statement number 1. Then statement number 2. Then statement number 3. All these statements will execute in a top to down approach till ending. Whenever last statement also over, then it is end of the program. Okay. This is how the statement is executes by default. Okay. Now I want to control it. I want to change it. In order to change the execution sequence of the statements, we have to use what statements? Control statements we have to use. Write it. In order to change or control the execution flow of the statements, we have to use control statements. In order to change or control the execution flow of these statements, we have to use control statements. Okay, listen. Now, I want to really check the condition before executing the statements. If the condition is true, then only I want to execute. If the condition is true, I want to repeat the execution. For this kind of situations, what we have to use? Control statements we have to use. How many types of control statements available? Two types of control statements available. Conditional, looping. Conditional control statements, looping control statements, two types of control statements available. Write it. Types of control statements. Types of control statements. Conditional control statements. Looping control statements. Conditional control statements. Looping control statements. Okay, let's take the first one. Conditional control statements. These conditional control statements are now divided into two things. If and a switch case. Conditional control statements are what? Two. Two are the conditional control statements. What are they? If and a switch case. If and a switch case. Next, looping control statements are three. While, do while and for. While, do while and for. Okay, while, do while and for. Okay, how many looping statements available? Three statements. Totally how many control statements? Five. Five control statements available totally. 2 plus 3, 5. What are they? Tell me. If, switch case, while, do while, for. If and switch case is coming under which category? Conditional control statements. While, do while, for are coming under which category? Looping control statements. Okay, right. Next one after that. First one we will take. The first one, if. Okay, better do one thing. Keep the Roman numbers you can just keep. Roman numbers. So, if. The first one is if. First one is what? If. Now, I want to check the condition. If the condition is true only, I want to execute the program. For this requirement, what we have to use? If we have to use. Write it. If you want to check the condition first and execute the statements only when the condition is true, use if. If you want to check the condition first you want to check the condition. If the condition is true, then only you want to execute the statements. For this requirement, we have to use if. So there is a condition. Based on the condition, particularly when the condition is true, then only you want to execute the statements. Then what to do? We have to go for if. Under if we have different types, different categories available. Now, types of if. If else, nested, else if, nested if. How many types of if available? 4 types. If else if, nested if. 4 types of if is available. Check there. If else if, nested if. 4 types. Now we are taking the first one, that is if. Okay, let's call it a simple if. Here if means simple if, that is the first type of if. If means simple if here. So if or simple if means simply you want to check the condition. If the condition is true only, you want to execute the statements. There are one or more statements. The set of statements should be executed only when the condition is true. Don't execute anything if the condition is false. If that is the case, what we have to use? If we have to use. Condition true means execute. Condition false means don't execute. Simple. Okay. Suppose you will go to some shop. If the product is genuine and price is good, then only you want to purchase it. Otherwise, don't purchase. That's all. Without purchasing, what will you do next? How do you get that product in somewhere else? That is secondary choice. In that particular shop, the product is not genuine. It's a bad product or price is too high. Then don't buy it. That's all. So, if the condition is true, execute the statements. The condition is false, don't execute the statement. That's all. So how do we write this? First we are trying to write if. Inside the if we have to provide some condition. Here what will you write? Some statements you will write. Some statements. One or more lines of statements you will write. If condition, some statements you will write. Now, so how this will be processed by the browser? First, there is some entry point, entry. This is entry point for the if. And this is what? Exit. Understand? Entry here, exit here. And all of you able to understand? Entry there, exit there. So, where we have to start? At the exit or entry? Entry. We have to start from the entry. Now listen. So, starting with entry, first check the condition. Condition we have to check. Condition may be true or false. Suppose if the condition is true, assume the condition is true. If the condition is true, what happens? Statements will execute. Statements will execute. All the statements, whatever written here will execute. So, condition is true, assume that all the statements executed. Suppose here 100 lines of statements executed. All the statements over. Then it will go to exit. That's all. Now, all of you able to understand? Condition true means all the statements will execute. Suppose, unfortunately, condition false. Condition false. Then what happens? Will it execute the statements? No. The statements will not execute if the condition is false. Directly skip these statements, bypass the statements, directly jump to exit. Here exit means exit for the if only, not for the exit of program. Here entry exit applicable only for if. So, what is the difference between true and false here? Just try to notice. If it is true, if the condition is true, this way. If the condition is false, this way. That's all. So, we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, execute the set of statements. Then, after completion of all the statements written in this particular braces, okay, then only you want to exit from the if. That's all. Next, in case if the condition is false, don't execute any of these statements. Don't execute any statements. Directly go to which one? Exit. This is how to work with the if. While I am explaining, please don't write. First listen. First listen what I am saying. Okay. All of you able to understand? If the condition is true, what should be happen? The statements will execute. Otherwise, statements will be skipped. Okay. Write this now. Write it. Okay, completed. Everyone. Done? Okay, now check it. Just we are going to the Visual Studio Code file menu, new file. Normally HTML head body is same. Simple if is the topic name. Simple if script. Okay, this syntax is common, and remember, sometimes we will not write the programs. The same programs, whatever I am explaining here, are already available in the material. Okay, you can check in the material. Now listen. So script we are trying to take. So script, in the script, what we are trying to do, console.log of hello. That's all. Now I want to save this first. Without saving, can we execute the program? No, without saving we cannot execute the program. Compulsory go to file menu, save, or keyboard shortcut Ctrl S. Now once we press Ctrl S, select the location C colon JavaScript, file name simpleif.html. That's all. Double click on the file to execute. Now how to open the browser console here? F12 we have to press, or with mouse what we have to do? Right click, inspect element, right click anywhere in the web page. Simply inspect element. We have to right click on which one? Browser. Somebody is doing like this. He is right clicking on the code window, and where is the inspect element option he is asking. Understand? In the previous batch it was happened. So now what to do? Observe carefully, don't sleep. Okay, just right click, what happened? Inspect element, right click, inspect element in the browser. Now what you can see? Console you can see. How to avoid this confusing character encoding issue? Meta char set we can write, meta char set. If you don't write also not a problem. Okay, that's all. Now that issue is clear. Okay, whatever, hello is the actual output we are expecting. Hello. That's fine. Next. So I want to print this hello message only when some condition is true. I will give some condition. What condition I will give? I don't know really. Some condition definitely I will give. The condition can be either true or false. If it is true, hello. Otherwise, don't say hello also. That's all. So I will keep some condition 10 is equal to 20. Please check it. The condition true or false? True, right? False. False. That's why. What is the output you will get here? I am refreshing. What is the output we got? Nothing. No output. Why we got nothing? We have written a statement like console.log of hello, right? Because the condition is false. Simple. The condition is a false means don't execute anything. Condition true, execute the hello. That's all. Okay. Simply this part, whatever the code present in between the brace opening and brace closing, all the set of statements, one or more statements, will execute only when the condition is true. Otherwise, simply will be skipped. Simple. Condition true, execute. Condition false, don't execute. That's all. So we can also store like if suppose where a equal to 10, b is equal to 20, that's all. Now we can keep a is equal to b, like this also we can write. Here also same meaning, it has no different. Otherwise we can keep something, some meaningful program. Suppose if a equal to 10, if a value is 10, we are trying to display a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Okay, that's all. Now, what is the output you will get? You will get this message. Sure, a is equal to 10. Because a is really 10. We have only stored a equal to 10, right? So, definitely a is equal to 10. What is the difference between a equal to and double equal to? Equal to means just assignment operator which is used to store 10 into A, stores the value of 10 into A. That means this one is equal to, in the memory, A memory location is there. In the memory location, what will be stored? 10 will be stored, that's all. What is the memory location? A. What is the value inside it? 10 will be stored, that's all. Now we are checking, is really A is a 10? Yes, correct, true. That's why this part will execute. That's all. Suppose now we are providing A equal to 20. Now check the condition again. Condition false means don't execute anything. Don't execute even single statement also. In this part, nothing will execute. Rest of the code will execute. What are the statements written outside will execute. I am talking about only this part. That part will be skipped, completely skipped because condition false. Okay, that's all. So that is the reason if you run this program, we are not getting any output. Again, if you keep 10, we are getting output. Can we write the multiple if statements in the same program? Multiple times? Yes. So we can keep one more condition. If A is not equal to 10, then I want to print one more message. The message A is not equal to 10. That's all. Now, the output that we are getting is A equal to 10. Okay, we got A equal to 30. A is equal to what? 30. Now we can refresh. What is the message we got? A is not equal to 30. Because at this moment, the first if condition false. That's why the first part was skipped, completely skipped. Second if condition is true. That's why this second if part will execute. That's all. But any relation between this one, any relation between this one and this one? No, no relation. Both statements will be independently will execute. Independently will be checked, independently will execute. That's all. Next, keep the second one. Keep the second one, second type of if, that is if else. Keep the second one, if else. So what is this if else? Let us try to understand. Listen. So first we have if condition. First we have some if and condition is there. So we don't know really. Condition may be true, may be false. We don't know really. Assume the condition is true. Then what happens? Here some statements you will keep. All the statements you want to execute. Only when the condition is true. Assume the condition is true. All the statements you want to execute. That's fine. Now we are providing else case also. Else means otherwise. Otherwise, if the condition is false, then what to do? We are trying to define. So else, else, we are trying to provide some other set of statements. Here also some statements. Any number of statements we can keep here. Here any number of statements. Here also any number of statements. Okay, now we talk about entry exit. First listen, entry. And this is what exit. First listen, don't write. First concentrate. Listen. So first starting with which one? Entry, right? So at the entry level what happens? Tell me. Condition will be checked. Condition may be true, may be false. Assume the condition is true. Assume the condition is true. Then what happens? All the statements, first set of statements will execute. This part is also called as a true block because it executes only when the condition is true. The second part is called as false block because it executes only when the condition is false. Okay, now if the condition is true, this set of statements will execute. All these statements, whatever present in the middle. Okay, fine. Now, after completion of this, what happens? All the statements will execute. Then go to second statements, right? No. Second statements will not be touched. Directly jump to exit. Directly exit. That's all. Next. Suppose if the condition itself is false, then what happens? If the condition is false, going this direction, execute all the statements present in the false block, that is else block. After completion of these statements, anyway naturally will go to exit. So overall, any chance of executing both statements? No, never and never both statements will execute, either first or second. It can be true or false, not like both. Either it will be true or false. True means first, true block. False means false block will execute. That's all. Write this. Okay, done. Right. Next, let us take the program. If else.html. Now, can we convert this simple if program into if else? Simply, what we have to do, just here what we have to do, else, over. Everything else same. Output also same. Output also has no difference. You will run the program, open the console as usual. So now we are getting a is not equal to 10 because the condition is false. Okay, because the condition is false. If a equal to 10, condition true, that's why this part will execute. So now we got the message a is equal to 10. That's all. Okay, clear? So easily we can convert simple if into if else. If you understand simple if, it's not that much difficult to understand if else. Simple, if the condition is true, the true block will execute. If the condition false, the false block will execute. Either of these only will execute for sure. That's all. Next. Next and after that, third one, else if. Third one, keep it, else if. Third one is what? Else if. Else if. Else if means what? First we have a condition. If the condition is true, some part we are executing. If the condition is false, again we are checking another condition. First some condition is there. Initially one condition we are checking. Suppose if the condition is false, then we are trying second choice, maybe alternative. Even that condition also false means, again we are trying other condition. Again that condition is false means, again we are trying alternative condition. Like this, n number of alternative conditions are there. That is an example of what? Else if only. Listen, for example, you want to really purchase one mobile. You have some 20,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees, something is there. You want to purchase some good mobile. Now, we have a number of options in the range of 20 or 25 or at least 10,000 also. We have a lot of choices now. So, I want to purchase some mobile. Now, first I will try something like, first I will try some online store. You will try. What are the available products in that particular price range? Okay, some 2-3 you will find out. Which one is good, you will check the reviews. If this one is good or that one, okay, you will decide one mobile. And where you will purchase? In different websites you can purchase, you will check the price of Amazon or Flipkart, some different stores. If the price is not good or if you cannot find the exact expected product, what will you do? Try offline stores, different shops you will go. You will go to some shop number 1. There the price is high. Again you will go for some other shop. So keep on trying or not. If the first option is failure, then we are trying second option. If the second option is also failure, then try the third option. So keep on trying, keep on trying. This is nothing but what? Else if. First you are checking the price in Flipkart. Okay? It is not good. Then go to which one? Amazon. Else if. Go to offline shop 1. Shop 1 is not good. Then else if go to shop number 2. Again it is bad. Then go to shop number 3. Keep on trying, keep on trying. After 100 times trying, what happens? 100 shops you tried, but you cannot find the exact one. What will you do? You will cry or not? Not required? Here, in this case, what's happening? Else case happens. Else case. If all the conditions are failed, what happens? It will go to else case. Okay, now listen. So first we have a condition. First we will have a condition. Now listen, the condition may be true, may be false, we don't know. Condition may be true, may be false, we don't know. Now listen. Okay, if the condition is false, what happens? We are trying to think, focus on that. If the condition is true, obviously these statements will execute, there is no much question about it. If the condition is a false, what we are trying to do? Again, we have alternative, other condition we have, some other condition. So, else if, else space if. Then we are providing another condition. So, this is the condition number 2 actually. All of you able to understand? Condition number 2. Suppose if this condition also false, then what happens? Again we can try another condition. Keep on trying n number of conditions. Once again, else if. Like this, n number of conditions we can write. Again you can repeat if you want. Again else if condition. Again else if condition. N number of times. Okay, all the conditions are over. What are the conditions you thought? All the conditions are over. Last and final, what will you do? Else case. If all the conditions are false, then go to which one? Else case. That's all. Now, explain me the entry exit point. Just don't write, first listen. So, just entry is there. All of you able to understand entry there? Exit is there. Okay, that's fine. First starting with which one? Entry or exit? Entry. Entry is there. Now next, first we are checking the condition. What is that? Condition is there. Condition. Condition may be true, may be false. Okay. Condition, if the condition is true, what happens? Tell me. All these statements will execute. All these statements, whatever, will execute. Just a minute. Previously we have missed one important point. This one is nothing but what? True or false? This one. Write it. That is very important. We forgot actually. This one, write it. True. That arrow mark will go to when? True. This arrow mark will go to when? False. Write that, important. In the previous case it was like that, true or false. Okay, write it, true or false. Okay, right. Now next, again come back. Have you done this? Write it. If else, previous one. Okay, now, so when this condition will be true, these statements are executing. Okay, right. Suppose the condition is false. What happens? Go to exit, right? Next condition it will execute. Okay, so if the condition is false, go into next condition. Next condition. Condition true means the statements will execute. Condition false means next condition will execute. Okay, fine. Now, don't write, first listen. After completion of these statements, observe carefully, you have to tell me answers. I don't know. I am not teaching you, you have to tell me. Okay, listen. After completion of these statements, to where it will go? Again it will check the condition? No condition will execute. Directly go to exit. Directly long jump to which one? Exit. Just to jump to which one? Exit, that's all. Right. Now, coming to false case. False case means we have checked the condition. This condition also may be true or false. This one, second condition may be true or false. If the second condition is false, what happens? Tell me. Again, next condition. False means next condition. Okay, this condition is true. Then go to exit. First statement should execute or not? Statements. True means first statements, and then after completion of the statements, then go to exit. Okay, that's all. Next one after that. Okay, this condition also may be true, may be false. Okay, if the condition is true, what happens? Tell me. Condition true means statements will execute. After completion of the statements, again it will exit. Okay. Next, if the condition is false, if the condition is false, then go to else part. Else. Just will go to else. Here no need of checking any condition, directly else. After completion of else statements, what happens? Again it will exit. So last and final destination is exit only. But we have a number of choices now. Okay, let's call it as statements part 1, statements part 2, statements part 3. Don't write, listen. Statements part 4. Okay, that's all. These are the 4 types of statements, let's call it. Now assume in one case, suppose all the conditions are false. All the conditions are false. Then which statements part will execute? Part 1, part 2, part 3 or part 4? Part 4 will execute. Part 4 will execute. Check it. First condition false, then go to second condition. Second condition also false, go to third condition. Third condition also false, then go to else. After completion of else statements, go to exit. That's all. All the conditions are all the conditions are true means all the statements will execute, right? All the conditions true means only first statement. Statement part 1 only will execute. Remaining will not execute. See, listen. First condition true or not? True. True means the statements part 1 will execute. Directly jumping to exit. We are not even checking the second condition, third condition. Directly long jump to exit. Suppose first condition false, second condition true. What happens? Part 2 only will execute. Part 2. So because first condition false I said. Then go to second condition. Second condition true. That's why the statements part 2 will execute. After completion of that, directly go to exit. So overall, any chance of execution of multiple statements part? Anything like suppose part 1, part 2 both will execute, anything, any possibility like that? No and never. Never multiple parts will execute. Okay, any one only will execute, that is for sure. Okay, write this. All of you completed the first part at least, statements part 1. All of you completed, check it. Statements part 1. Anyone missed anything? If you missed, I will scroll up. Inform me. All of you written this? Both of you talking each other. Don't talk. Okay, done? Everyone done? Now listen. So check the example. elsif.html. elsif.html. Now listen. So suppose my requirement is, we have two values now, two values A and B. I want to compare whether A and B both are equal, or A is less than B, or A is greater than B. How many possibilities are there? Only three possibilities. What are they? I will give just any number, two numbers I will give. If I give two numbers, three possibilities are there. What are the possibility number one? A and B both may be equal. Both are equal, that is possibility number one. Second one, A may be less than B. Possibility number three, A may be greater than B. Then which is correct, I want to find out. That's all. Now listen. Where A equal to 10, B equal to 20. B equal to 10. Okay, fine. Now, which possibility is it? Both are equal. Both are equal, right? So I want to check that. I want to programmatically prove it. Then what to do? If A is equal to B, I am checking the condition. If A is equal to B, what should happen? I want to print some message. How to print the message? Tell me, I forgot. Console.log. Console.log. A is equal to B. And generally, when we are using this type of programs, we'll have some doubt. I want to accept these values from the user. Suppose in C language and many other languages, generally what we learn in the basics itself, how to read inputs, how to provide output. Suppose in C language, all of experts in C language, right? No, masters in C language, right? So, no problem, just assume. So, generally printf scanf, generally printf scanf. Printf means use it to output, use it to provide output. Scanf means input. So, but in JavaScript there is no equivalent statement for scanf. Why? This is GUI, graphical user interface by default. We already have text boxes. 4-5 days already told about forms topic in HTML, text boxes, check boxes. The text boxes we have to use for accepting inputs. Then how to accept the value of text box into program, that I will tell later. There is one second half of JavaScript, that is DOM manipulation topic. There I will tell how to read the values from the text boxes. So until that, we are trying to provide some fixed values. So don't mind about it. Now listen. So if A is equal to B, if A is equal to B, what is the message I want to provide? A is equal to B itself. Next, else if. What is the second possibility? A may be less than B. A may be less than B. Then what to do? Again, console.log of A is less than B. Next, else. Any need of checking the condition again? No. See, first one false, second one also false means 100% sure it is A is greater than B. No other chance. Okay. So that's why A is greater than B. Suppose right now I am providing A equal to 10, B equal to 10. Then what is the output we are expecting? Just check it. Console A is equal to B. Okay, first possibility is perfect. Second one, B is 20, A is 10. So what is the second possibility? Is correct, right? So just check it. Second possibility, A is less than B. Understand now? A is less than B. Next one after that. Now A is 30, B is 20. Then what happened? Last possibility, that is A greater than B. Clear, that's all. So this is how to work with the else if. Okay, next. Next type of if is what? Nested if. Nested if. Okay, next, fourth type of if, I think. Fourth type of if is nested if. Keep the heading nested if. Okay, nested if.
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Okay, nested if. Nested if means if inside if there is one if, inside if we have another if. Inside if we have another if. If inside if is nothing but what? Nested if. So first we have condition, if condition we have, if condition, inside this if we have another if, some statements can be there. But I have a doubt here. Observe carefully. Can we write statements here in this area? Yes, we can write. Can we write any statements here in this area? Yes. That's all. Now listen, how this flow will execute, let's try to understand. First entry exit we are trying to talk about. Entry exit. Okay, entry here and exit here. Okay, fine. Now check the flow. First we are trying to find first entry. Entry at the time of entry level itself we are checking this condition. Okay, the condition may be true or false actually. And one more point, this if is called as inner if. This if is called as outer if. The if which is present at the outer level is called as outer if. The if which is present at the inner level inside is nothing but what? Inner if. Now listen. So first what condition will be checked? Outer if condition will be checked. Outer if condition may be true, may be false, we don't know. If the condition is true, what happens, tell me? All these statements will execute. What are the statements here? After completion of these statements, what happens? Exit. No, condition will execute. Condition. Next, this condition may be true, may be false. If the condition is true, then these statements will execute. Then what happens later? Then again, the remaining statements will execute. Then go to exit. Okay, right. So this is what happens when you give true. Both are true means this thing happens. In fact, all are executed. All the statements executed, nothing skipped. Because all the conditions are true. But in case by mistake, the first condition itself is false. What happens? Tell me. First condition false means directly exit. Directly exit. No possibility. Just directly exit. Directly exit. Okay, that's all for this. Next. Okay, suppose assume this condition is true now. That's why this statement is executed. Don't write listen. If you write, how can you understand? You came here for listening, not for writing. If you want to just write, you can be in your room. You can happily sleep also because lot of materials already available. You can download, you can purchase, and you can just see that. Lot of videos also available. Just listen. First listen. For listening, you came here. Clear. So assume the condition is true. The condition is true. If the condition is true, what should happen? These statements executed. That's fine. The condition is true. That's why this statement is executed. Assume the condition, this one is false. Outer condition is true only. Inner condition false. Then what happens? Exit or statements? The next statements will execute. Means these statements will be skipped, but these will execute. Listen. So what I am saying, if this condition is true, false in the case, these statements will continue. This one is skipped. These statements will execute, and finally exit is normal. That's all. Overall, in simple words to tell about a nested if the outer if is false, inner if will not be checked. If outer if is true only, inner if will be checked. That is the main summary of the nested if. Outer level if must be true in order to check the inner if. That is the main meaning of the nested if. Write it. Done this. Over. Now listen. Okay, now listen. So can we convert the same program into nested if? Same thing. Two numbers I'm giving, three possibilities. Two numbers I'm giving, A is equal to something, B is equal to something, three possibilities. A is equal to B, A is less than B, A greater than B, three possibilities. So the same program we can convert into nested if inside if. In outer if, we have inner if, that is nothing but nested if for sure. Now listen. Nested if. So, in a brief concept, just we have condition, some condition whatever. We have another condition, that's all. This is nothing but nested if, that's all. In a basic level, if inside if is nothing but nested if. Okay? Now listen. This is called as what? Outer if. This is inner if. Can we write else case for outer if and inner if also? Else is possible, else we can write, no problem. Now listen. So actual requirement is A is equal to 10, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. That's all. So I want to find out whether A and B both are equal or A is less than B or A is greater than B. Same program, same previous program only I am repeating, but in a different approach, in a different perspective. So what is the first possibility? A may be greater than or equal to B. What is the condition there? It's not like double equal to, it is greater than or equal to B. A may be greater than or equal to B. So if so, then we have to enter into this part. In this part, once again we are checking if A is equal to B, then we are providing a message A is equal to B. That's all. Else, can you guess the message? A is sure? Greater than B. Listen, what is the first condition? A is greater than or equal to B. Greater than or equal to B. Then this condition false. First condition true, second condition false. What is the possibility? Think once. Only possibility greater than, no other possibility. In case if the A is less than B, the first condition itself will be false. That's why. So directly we can print the message. Next, for this if, directly we are providing else. This else is for inner if or outer if? Outer if. The first else for inner if, second else for outer if. So for this one, we are providing A is less than B, because this first condition itself is false. What is the possibility then? Only one possibility. Definitely A is less than B, no other possibility. That's all. Overall, possibility number 1, possibility number 2, possibility number 3, 3 are completed. That's all. Now let's check it. So first one, A and B both are same here, both are equal. Check it. A is equal to B. Understand? A is equal to B. Okay, right. Next, after that, A is 20, B is 10. What is the output we are getting? A is greater than B. A is 20, B is 30. Then what is the possibility? A is less than B. That's all. Okay, all are working correctly. So same program we have redeveloped from else if to nested if. That's all. Next, switch case. What is the next one? Switch case. Keep the heading switch case. Switch case. So what is the switch case? Switch case. Now only one variable But many possibilities, only one variable, many possibilities is nothing but what? Switch case. Suppose I am saying that month number 1. Can you tell me month name? Any guess? Month number 1. So month name is? Not understand. February, right? January. 1 is January. So you are checking. 1 means you are ready to tell January. 2 means you are ready to tell February. So 12 possibilities are there. 12 possibilities. So one variable, many possibilities is nothing but example of switch case. Write it. When you have one variable with many possibilities, use a switch case. One variable with many possibilities is called a switch case. Okay, now listen. Just we will have something like switch. Switch variable, not condition, variable here. Directly variable. So inside this variable, n number of cases you will write. Cases, n number of cases. Case, value 1. Some statements here. After completion of the statement, what we have to provide, any guess? Break we have to provide. Break. Then value 2. Then value 3. N number of values. After completion of all the values, last and final what we have to do? Default value. Suppose all the cases failed, it will definitely come to default. We can write any number of cases in this place. Just for understanding we have written 3, but actually we can write unlimited. After all the cases are failed, then only it will go to default. But case is a predefined keyword, but value means any value we can provide. But actually here it should be colon, right? Not semicolon, colon we have to use, colon. Here colon will come. Then not semicolon, colon we have to write. Even default also, colon we have to write. For every case and default also break is required. Break means end of the case, end. The case ends. The default ends. How do you specify ending? By using break. Okay, that's all. So, how do we work with this entry exit? Where it will start, where it will exit, let's try to understand. Entry, exit. Now listen. So at the time of entry, first variable will be the variable value it will take. What is the value inside the variable? It will read. If the value is equal to value 1, then what happens? It will check this particular condition. It will execute this particular statement. After completion of this statement, what happens? Go to exit. Directly jump to exit. No need of checking the remaining values. Exit. If this variable equal to value 1, then only it will execute this statement. I am writing true. True means variable equal to value 1. In case if it is false, variable is not equal to value 1, then it will go to which one? Then it will go to value 2. Again, if it is true, this one. After completion of this one, exit. That's all. Next, if the value t is false, then go to value 3. Okay. If the value 3 is true, it will go to statement, then go to exit. If the value 3 is false, then go to default. Actually, if you have value 4, that one, then value 5, then value 6, unlimited. As many as you have written, all that will execute. If all the cases top to bottom failed, then only last and final case it will go to default. So default executed. There is no possibility of failure here. Default has no condition. Directly, blindly will execute. Finally, after completion of this, it will come to exit. So I am writing true or false. So this one is for true. True. Okay, these are for false. Now tell me, suppose first we are checking the value 1. Variable equal to value 1. Don't write, listen. Variable equal to value 1. Then what happens? First statement will execute. Let's call it a statement 1, 2, 3. First statement will execute, then stop. Directly go to which one? Exit. Okay, first value 1 is false. Then go to value 2. Check the value 2. Value 2 true means go to statement 2. Value 2 false means go to value 3. And the process repeats. All the values failed means default will execute. That's all. So actually in the last case there is no question of true or false. Blindly it will execute. That's all. Write this. Okay, done. Now check this. So check the program. switch case.html. Switch case. Just I want to provide the month number as input and I am expecting the month name as output. Suppose 1 means John, 2 means Feb. Like that I want to display the month name respectively. If the month number is wrong, suppose I am providing 13, 14 like that, then it should display invalid month name something. So just where I am declaring a variable. What is the variable name? Month number. What is the variable name? Month number. Just like A, B, X we have taken previously. Now I am going to take which name? Month number. Month number is the name of the variable. I just provide the value, default value 1. That's all. So based on this I want to provide which one? Month name. But the month name, month number can be 1, 2, 3. So many possibilities are there. We have to check. How do we check? Switch. Switch. What variable you want to check? Tell me. Month number. Month number. And if the month number is matching with some maybe 1 or 2, I want to store the month name in a variable. I want to store the month name in a variable. To store the month name, there should be one variable here. Month name is the name of the variable. Month number I am checking. If month number is equal to 1, month name will be John. And so on. So I am checking if month number is equal to 1. Month number equal to which one? 1. Then what would you tell me? Month name is equal to which one? John. Break. Break means the case over. Here the case begins, right? Here it's over. That's all. Next, in the middle we can write any number of statements, not only assignment statement. Any statement we can write, any meaningful statement. Next, after that. Okay, we'll repeat the same for all the remaining months, of course. At last we will provide default because some wrong number may be there. That's all. At last, finally, we will come to know the month name. Either of these cases will be matching. If all the cases are failed, then it will go to which one? Default. So, definitely some value has been assigned to month name variable. Just simply we have to print which one? Month name we have to print. Remember, variable name never be in the double quotes. Even though it's a string data type or integer data type anything, variable name never be in the double quotes. Only fixed values you are writing. Hello, Harsha, you are writing this type of string values. Those names only must be in the double quotes. Variable names never be in the double quotes, irrespective of the data type. Now listen. Just as of now, what is output we are getting? Check it. So John we are getting. Okay, fine. Right. Next I am providing month number 7. And which one? July. Like that. Any, you can also try 8, 9, anything. So I am giving 12. What we are getting now? December. But I am giving 13. 13 I am providing. What is the output there? Invalid we are getting. Simple. Save the program. Control yes to save. Here what we have to click? Refresh. Refresh. F5 to refresh. Keyboard shortcut to save is Control S. Keyboard shortcut to refresh is F5. That's all. Now we can see invalid. So program is working correctly or not? That's all. So this is all about the switch case. So among these cases, how many cases will execute at a time? Only one. Only one. Either one, at least one case, or default will execute. No possibility of multiple cases. That is 100% sure in the switch case. Okay, that's all about this. Loopings are still pending, that we will see in the next class. And no class tomorrow. Next class will be on which one? Monday. Okay, Monday same time will continue. Okay.